What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, DJ Hamilton, and welcome to DJ Sports, a place where we discuss sports, share bold opinions, and untold stories that make a difference. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like, subscribe, and share anybody you know who loves sports. And if you listen on any audio platform, on, leave a 5-star rating, share anybody you know. On today's episode, I'm joined by Armani Jackson, my guy from all the way out in Los Angeles, coming on the show to talk some Game 7s in NBA playoffs and previewing the second-round matchups we have coming up in the NBA. Without further ado, let's get into the show.
What's up, everyone? I'm DJ Hamilton, and you're tuned into the DJ Sports Show, where we give you the latest, greatest, and most exciting sports stories in the world of sports. From interviews to having people's stories heard and told. This is the DJ Sports Show. Let's get it!
We're going to talk some NBA Game 7 of the playoffs. We had some big Game 7s this weekend. We're recording this Sunday, 6:52 p.m. Eastern time for me on the East Coast, and then my guy Armani Jackson in LA.
West Coast.
Yo, how you doing, my guy?
Doing good, man. How are you doing? It's good to be on here with you again, man. I feel like it's been a while, but I really do appreciate you reaching out to me, man, and, get back on here, talk some NBA playoffs. And, it's been some really good games lately, and all these Game 7s has been really wild and crazy, but I'm doing really good, man. Thank you for having me on.
Nah, definitely. I was like, definitely got to get one of my baby brothers on the show. My guy got the
1 out of 2.
Yeah, got the whole girl game going on. I was like, yeah, my guy look like he ready to go to a wedding.
not right now, man. I was just at an event yesterday. That's all, man.
Okay, I know that. Yeah, that Cali weather. I know that sun beaming hot on that fresh hairline right now.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It ain't no joke out here. It's way different.
Oh yeah, and what else is sharp shooting? Man, them Sixers last night against the Celtics.
Man.
Game
it's
7
crazy, man.
On the road, you guys come out. They overcome the 3-1 deficit. The first time in franchise history they've done that. They were 0-18 all time before winning last night in Boston. And I know the Celtics were without Jason Tatum. He was scratched out hours before the game with the left knee stiffness. Honestly, I thought it was going to be his calf because that's what we saw in Game 6 when he looked like he was having that left calf issue. But they said, no, it was left knee stiffness. And if you're a Philly fan, man, of the Sixers, I have a friend who's a big Sixers fan. He's had to be demoralized every time they go against the Celtics over the years. And to finally beat them for the first time since 1982, I'm just like, you guys finally got to get that monkey off your shoulder. Like, whew, we finally did it.
It's like a sigh of relief for real.
Yeah. And I just want to say, when I'm watching this game, I love the way Maxey and Embiid set the tone early. Like, they were getting after it. They were aggressive right out the gate. Maxey was getting to the rim, and when he saw Embiid was kind of tired, or whenever he was on the bench, he made sure to take an emphasis and drive to the rim. He was hitting his shots. He wasn't giving the defense any chance to rest. And I just love his aggressiveness. And then also defensively, he's gotten stronger. There was times he was guarding Brown,
for sure,
and he was guarding Payne Pitcher very, very well. A couple of years ago, when he wasn't as strong, he was kind of getting beat and kind of getting pushed around. Now that he's kind of more experienced, he's a true superstar in this league now. He kind of understands where to pick his spots, where to slide his feet, and I just love the way Philly played. Even VJ Edgehill, he was amazing for them. He had some big shots throughout the game. He had some big defensive jobs, and it's kind of ironic because his first game of his NBA career, he put up over 30 in TD. He's on this team now. He had some big games on the road for them, and then now they're going to the next round and play the Knicks. So that's interesting to me. And then I know the Celtics were playing a small ball lineup to begin the game. Cade wasn't starting. That was I was like kind of scratching my head. I'm like, why?
It's a skeptical one.
5 in this game, which I kind of see why now they didn't start him, especially against Embiid. But you could tell when you're watching the Celtics when Cade wasn't playing, they're just too small, man. Now they don't have Porzingis. You don't have that depth in the front court. And really hinders them, especially going against a team that has a legitimate big man presence like an Embiid, like the Sixers have. It just shows and exploits them defensively. And then they didn't even play Vucevic in this game, who, to me, whenever I watch him, it was like kind of like a liability out there. He can't make shots.
Yeah.
His shot is like gone. It's just gone. So he can't make shots. And then defensively, we know he's liability. He can't go out and guard the pick and roll. He has slow feet. He can't drop defender either. I'm just like, that's why they can't play this guy. So, and then when Tatum's
Yeah.
out, they usually have him at the small ball 5 when Cade's out and
Mm-hmm.
Vucevic's not playing. So when he's out too, it's like, damn, you got to really go small. Luka Garza, you expect him to guard Embiid?
Yeah.
And then they had
That ain't
it was
happening.
Kyrie Irving at some point. Jaylen Brown was having to pick up the assignment of Embiid many times throughout the game. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Embiid. Sometimes he was settling for threes. I'm like, Embiid, come on, man, get down. I mean, even though he finished with 34, but there were times I'm like, why you keep settling for
Yeah.
threes? Man, punish them. There's nobody here near your size or how the girth you have. You're 7'2", 260, 270. Punish them,
No,
man.
for real.
Luckily, they came out with the win. But if they would have lost that game, it would have been like Embiid. Why you don't try to bully them more in the post? So
Yeah. No, for real. But the thing that saved the Sixers for sure, and you just touched on it, was Joel Embiid for sure. Like if he didn't come back this series, I think he came back. It was Game 5. Yeah, Game 5 games. Yeah, when he came back, bro, he saved it because the crutch and the Achilles heel for Boston and the Celtics, it has been for a little bit now, and they've been getting by in the past. Having Al Horford on that team, who's just a workhorse, but they don't have like a strong like front court, or yeah, they don't have a strong front court. Neemias Queta had a good year. Don't get me wrong; I'm not discrediting anything that he's done this year. And Luka Garza, like he's a valid role player. He was really good back in college, and even now he's still in the league. But when you're going against like a healthy Joel Embiid, like you're not stopping him. He's like Joel Embiid healthy is a top 3 center in the NBA, no question. Obviously, like there's like Nikola Jokic, and you got other guys, but like yeah, Victor Wembanyama, but like Joel Embiid is still like a very versatile player, and he can do a little bit of everything. The problem has just been, durability. We talked about that before. Just him being healthy and being consistent. But he clicked yesterday, and like I really give a lot of kudos and respect to him. Grinding and finding a way to win the game, and he was very determined. He was chirping at Jaylen Brown, like going at him, and everything. I said, okay, like we really got a Game 7 matchup right now. This is going to be like really good. I ain't gonna lie, but it was really good to see him finally, surpass that and get that victory. And then also too, like you said, Tyrese Maxey came up with 30 points. VJ Edgecombe has had a great rookie season. Had 23 points, was really effective. Paul George, being a veteran, he had 13 points. Was 5 of 10 from the field, but like he's just effective. You know what I mean? And all the stuff that this team has been through injury wise, and just everything like they've been dealing with, in the off season, going into this season, just the lineup, the rotations, the chemistry, like they finally clicked at the right time. And really what it is, and you know how it is with basketball, but more so on the side of, being a player and being on the coaching side, like you really just got to click when it matters. And this is the time where it matters most, is the playoffs, and when it's do or die, and it's a Game 7. So I'm really happy for them. I'm really happy that they got it done. Looking at Boston, though, like, and you talked about this, and we talked about it personally. It's like when we found out Tatum wasn't playing, it's like, okay, like I don't think they got a shot. But the fact of them to be able to get there, and to put themselves in position how they were, you kind of got to question how the dynamic of the team was this year, because Jaylen Brown led the way all season, and then all of a sudden, Tatum comes back. You're dealing with the old flow again of what they used to be, back when they were in the championship runs and even prior to that. But I really feel like the problem, and I'm not discrediting Joe Mazzulla because I think he's a good coach. You have to be able to adapt and adjust your game plan. You can't live on something that ain't going to sustain you all the time, which is 3-point shooting. He likes guys to shoot the ball. They were 13 for 49 in Game 7, 27% from the field. Like, you're not going to win a playoff game in Game 7, especially. Like, you're not going to win. And then that's how he plays, though, and that's the way he operates. But I just don't think they have the pieces in regards to the front court. And I feel like that is something that is really crucial. You see a lot of these good teams, like the Spurs. They have Victor Wembanyama. You have, like, the Nuggets. They have Nikola Jokic. You have the Sixers. They have Joel Embiid. Like, the Celtics don't have a Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, in the East. Like, Jalen Duren on the Pistons. Like, teams, like, have anchors in the paint. And not saying, like, that they have to be, like, ridiculously good, because, I mean, it's really guard-driven heavy now in the NBA. But it's just, like, having a strong piece at the front court position, like, whether it's a power forward or a strong center, like, that helps. And it carries great measure going into games like this, where it's, like, do or die, and you got to physically, like, brute out the next opponent that you're up against. You know what I mean? So I really feel like something Boston needs to do is just reevaluate that. I don't know if they will, knowing how Mazzulla is and his personality. I'm not even discrediting him at all. It's just like you have to be able to adapt, or like they're going to come across this for a long time if they don't. So, but overall, great game though. I'm so happy for the Sixers for that, and it's really good for Embiid and everything that he's been through with the team, and even Tyrese Maxey weathering the storm and them being able to get to this next opportunity in the second round. Like, it's going to be awesome, bro. I love it.
No, definitely. We could preview that matchup with the Knicks soon, but I just want to get
For sure.
more points to the Celtics.
Mm.
They went on a 9-2 run to start the fourth quarter when I was watching. I'm like, oh, they're making a run.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of struggling. Philly kind of had their number throughout the entirety of the game. And I remember, if anyone watched the game, and B went out for a bit with that appendix issue. He had to put a heating pad on. He was on the bench stretching.
Yeah. Yeah, that was stressful.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy he's going through some of the worst injuries you could ever think of a player.
Yeah, for real.
He puts his body on the line for the city of Philly, and honestly, I hope Philly fans really appreciate him. Yeah, you call him made of glass, whatever, but this he's not lazy. He just had bad luck with in terms of his body betraying him. Like, this guy had Bell's palsy. He's had the appendectomy now, recently to surgery, and he's playing in the playoffs at this intensity, and he's had a host of injuries throughout his career. But for him to put up this performance on the road, just coming back from an appendectomy, and
that's wild.
He did it efficient too. It wasn't like he was shooting 12 or 40. He had an efficient game while doing it, giving you a 30-point double-double. Like, him and Maxey gave you a 30-point double-double, respectively tonight. So I just want to give kudos to him. And one thing about the Celtics, you go 0 for 9 in the last 5 minutes from 3. Why are you shooting so many threes? At one point, you cut the lead, you cut the deficit to 1. All you need is go to the rim, draw a foul, something.
Get to the free throw line. Get to the get those FTAs. Yeah. That's really all they needed, man.
Put some rim pressure on them. And Embiid, as great as he is, he can't move like he used to. I mean, you watch him play, he can't guard in the perimeter. He looks like he's barely able to move his body. He looks like he's immobile a little bit. He doesn't even be getting up to dunk anymore.
Yeah, so, no, for real.
You gotta get him in those screen and rolls, get him on those switches. Jaylen Brown, get him on a switch. You could blow right by him, draw a foul, something. I don't know why they were selling for threes the whole game. Baylor Shireman, Payne Pritchard, Jaylen Brown. Like, this is what has hurt you guys over. Even last year against the Knicks, you guys were selling for too many threes. And ever since you guys won the championship, it seemed like you've gone away from that formula to help you guys win. So, I don't know what they're going to do this offseason. They're definitely going to keep Joe Mazzulla. I think his job is safe, especially considering.
I think he's safe.
Yeah, because nobody expected the Celtics to even be a number 2 seed in the East with Tatum missing the majority of the season. Like, when I was coming into the year, I thought the Celtics maybe would be a 5th or 6th seed. I didn't see them being number 2 seed, even though it's disappointing they lost in the first round. You still got to look at the season as kind of a success. But I know with Tatum being now in this game 7 definitely hurt their chances of winning. I think if he played this game, they win this game. It's a different conversation we're having. But yeah, but if you're Philly, hey, I know you're cheering right now, but you got to get right back to work because the Knicks, that's going to be a different series. They have more size up front. They have Cat, who can deal with Embiid down there. And they have Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench, who's an elite defender, who can block shots, rebound. So that's something you got to gear up for. And then they have an elite point guard in Jalen Brunson, who is more of a headache to deal with than Derek White, who struggled throughout the series against the Sixers. So if you're the Sixers, you got to quickly make some adjustments because it's going to be a different series. And they have more depth to me than Knicks. Because the Celtics, they're not to me what they were last year or 2 years ago in terms of depth and in the front court. Yeah, they kind of depleted with trades and injuries and things of that nature. So it's going to be a whole different beast going against that New York team.
Yeah, and the thing with the Knicks too, man, like they're a team that rallies on energy. Once they got the ball rolling and once momentum's on their side, they can thrive really well. I think a thing that does suffer the Knicks is inconsistencies with shot selection. There are times where you can look at some of their shots and you're like, you guys got that look out of this possession, you know what I mean? But sometimes it works, you know what I mean? Because you have a lot of dynamic pieces on that team with Jalen Brunson. You got Mikal Bridges, you got Josh Hart, you have OG Anunoby, you have Karl Anthony Towns. Like, they have a team full of like strong pieces that are like hungry to go get something done. I respect Brunson because no matter what situation he finds himself in, he finds a way to go try to he tries to go find a way to go win the basketball game. And the odds, to be honest, like against him, like his whole career, like starting, from Dallas, and I respect it a lot. Like, he got overlooked by Dallas, and then he goes to a situation in New York, and he's really loved by the franchise. So I think it's a good situation for them to go in this series and go compete and go try to go get to the conference finals. I think it's very important for even with Mike Brown being there now. Like the vibe and the feel in New York is like really high right now. And also to the Sixers, like they're riding on a good momentum, beating Boston. I think everybody was worried about it's going to be Boston, New York, and I think everybody was rooting and doting on, okay, but we're going to play Boston, we're going to go beat Boston because we hate Boston, and it's going to be like a big town cry across across the waters on the East Coast. But Philly being in that position now, they match up good having Maxey and VJ in their backcourt, but the dynamic of you have those athletic wings over in New York that they just wreak a lot of havoc on the defensive side of the ball with Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. And then you got Josh Hart just scrapping around everywhere, and then Karl Anthony Towns just is like a big anchor in the paint. So it's going to be a really fun matchup to see. I'm really excited to see the Brunson and Maxey matchup, and then also too just VJ Edgecombe going at Mikal Bridges, or how those matchups are. It's going to be like really interesting to see for sure. And then even Embiid and Cat, that's going to be a fire one too. Like everybody's talking about the guards, but like Embiid, and if Embiid's healthy the whole series against Karl Anthony Towns, like that's going to be really interesting to see. And I think this is going to be a good test for Karl Anthony Towns to kind of see how he's going to perform, because we know how good he can be, but it comes down to like, okay, you're playing against the big dogs now. It's getting like you're playing top 3 centers, because like Karl Anthony Towns, like everybody knows he's talented, everybody knows he's good, everybody knows he can shoot the ball. He's probably the best 3-point shooting big we have in the league. But okay, like what are you doing to separate yourself from Jokic? What are you doing to separate yourself from Wembanyama? What are you doing to separate yourself from like the Embiids, the Senguns, the Bam Adebayo's? Like, so this is going to be a good test for him to be able to perform while trying to accumulate a goal to go get to the conference finals and try to go get to the NBA finals after that. So it's going to be fun, bro. I love it.
Yeah. Bro, I expect Philly fans and Knicks fans to like talk ish to each other online, social media.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
like
crazy. It's
Boston,
two of the most. Those two are very aggressive. Yeah, those 3 are like some of the most aggressive fans in the East, and not even the East, the NBA period. Like I'm a Laker fan, bro, but even being a Laker fan, I don't even talk that much smack, because it's like we're the Lakers. I don't have to say anything like that, Like yeah, if we lose, yeah, like we have the championships to back it up. But even then, too, like. We just don't have nothing to really say. Like our name speaks for itself, but like those teams, they chirp bad. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm not getting in a debate with a Knicks fan. I'm not getting in a debate with a Celtics fan, and I'm for sure not going to go get in a debate with a Sixer fan at all. Because Philly, like my head coach last year, Coach Scott, he's from Philly, and they're diehard Philly fans. Like he will go to war for his team. Like it's no joke, man. It's no joke.
What's funny is I wouldn't even say just NBA. Those fan bases in terms of sports in general. Like,
yeah, Yankees. Yeah,
insane. I'm like, man, can y'all chill out?
Yeah, they're diehards, bro. It's perfect though. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like that's how fan bases should be, but like no, they take deep pride in that stuff, and that's why it's going to be a great matchup for sure.
I'm really looking, like you mentioned, the Cat and Embiid matchup. I know we have the
yes.
and all that. I'm looking. That's the one I'm pinpointing, because I think whoever plays the best between those two, their team is winning this series.
Right.
Because if I'm Cat, yes, you bulldoze the Hawks, but then again, there's nobody your size that could really match up. The tallest guy, I think, was the starting lineup was like 6'9". They had no Jock Landale. He was out with injury. Was what? Onyeka Okongwu?
Onyeka Okongwu, and if Jalen Johnson's there, but that's it.
Yeah.
That should be cakewalk for you. Yeah, it's cakewalk.
Yeah. And then same with Embiid, like you were going against Cade, who doesn't have the girth, and outside of him, there was nobody to really match up against you. Now we get to see, likewise, in terms of size,
physicality,
everything going against each other. What I'm worried about with Embiid now, Cade doesn't have the skill of Cat. Embiid's gonna have to guard on the perimeter and slide them puppies. He's gonna have to guard out in the pick and roll, guard the pick and pop. I'm taking advantage of his bad knees and things of that nature, and I'm trying to get him to come out on the pick and roll, play high up on the wing, and try to go by him and draw fouls and things of that nature. Bring him out to the 3-point line, take his presence out the paint, because then I'll open up driving lanes for Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges. Hopefully, he gets his confidence back offensively. Josh Hart, he's a rim pressuring guard. So
Mm-hmm.
OG Anunoby, he was great in that Atlanta series. When he's going and engaged
Yeah.
offensively, he's one of the best two-way guys in the league.
Yeah,
So
he's up there.
I'm really taking advantage of a hobbled Embiid. He's not in the best shape right now due to the injuries. Take advantage of that and help your team win. Because I don't want you
Yeah.
just settling for threes all the time and then not really putting any pressure on him to have to guard you and get in the stance. So that's one thing I'm going to be looking forward to this series. Like the
Yeah,
matchup,
and,
whoever that matchup, I think wins this series.
yeah, for sure. And then too, like these both teams like are very versatile from the point of like their role players, like
Oh yeah,
Jeremy Sochan, like Mitchell Robinson, Jordan Clarkson, Landry Shamet, Jose Alvarado, Miles McBride, Tyler Collick. Like those are strong like role players to have on your team. And even too, like when you look at the Sixers, like they get good production out of their guys when they're playing. Like obviously, like this game 7, they didn't really play as much, but like Justin Edwards, Dominic Barlow, like Andre Drummond, Quinn Grimes, like those guys carried him throughout the regular season. Like when Paul George was out from injury, or not injury, but like from a suspension, you know what I mean? And then when Embiid was out, like guys stepped up and like produced in an effective way for them to like put themselves in position to where they're at now, in the playoffs and stuff. So like obviously we're talking about those big time matchups because like that's the most important people that are going to be on the floor, but like those role players that both of these teams have are like very strong suitors for them as well to go try to win a basketball game in the series. So it's going to be fun.
oh yeah. And then game 1's tomorrow. I'm ready
Yep.
for the second round. Well,
Yeah.
because we definitely gotta talk your Lakers before we end the show because they're playing
Oh
OKC.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
You're like, man,
Yeah,
why
I don't
couldn't
even
the
want.
Nuggets lose that last game so we don't have to play OKC in the second round until the conference
Man,
finals?
I just,
You would have got
yeah,
the
I
Spurs
just, I
instead.
just, I just wish we could have had a little bit of more time. But I mean, it's one of those things. Like we just got to go out and compete. I got my
Yeah,
thoughts on it though, but I'll
yeah,
I'll save it for when we get on it.
yeah. So another team that came back down 3-1 is the Detroit Pistons, man. I mean, shout out to the Pistons. You come back down 3-1.
Yeah, big time turnaround.
Before I give kudos to the Pistons, the Magic. I mean, what a disaster. I mean,
Yeah,
Franz goes out with a calf injury in Game 4, and honestly, they might have to start asking some questions. Can Franz be reliable? Because this guy now, he hasn't shown he can stay healthy. Like, we needed you in this
right.
playoff run. This is the first time they had a chance to get past the first round in the Paulo era. It's been 3 straight years now they got bounced out in the first round. 2 Game 7 losses against Cleveland in
Yeah,
2024. This year against the Pistons. And then last year they lost in,
yeah,
what,
Detroit.
5 games or got swept by the Celtics, something like that.
Yeah, they played Boston
It's come
first
to a
round, I
point now.
believe.
It's come to a point now. Like Paulo has proven he rises in the playoffs. He
Oh
rises.
yeah, for sure. He's a
And
gamer.
as much flack and criticism he's gotten this season because of inconsistencies, which kind of warranted
Hmm.
sometimes, but other times when he's balling, he's balling.
Oh yeah.
This guy proved it in the playoffs, and he's shown it time and time again.
Hmm.
He needs some help. I was watching this game today. The dude had like 23 a half, 21 a half. I'm like, where's everybody else? And it was
He has no
point,
help.
throughout the first half, it was a close game, neck and neck. No team could really get any separation. And I'm like, okay, if Paul doesn't get no help, they're in trouble.
Yeah,
Desmond Bane wasn't really being aggressive. He was kind of being too passive for me. Franz is out, so we need somebody else to step up. Wendell Carter's not knocking out any shot. Jamal Cain, he was breaking them threes. I'm like, man, this isn't even not going close into the basket. Jalen Suggs can't get
yeah,
anything going. And I'm just like, I'm like, this is kind of remnants of that Game 6 collapse. They were up by 24 at halftime. That Game 6 is going to haunt them. Now that they lost the series, they're looking back at that game like, man, we should have closed it out then. Up by 24, you missed 23 straight shots.
such a
That's a
terrible.
historic drought.
Yeah.
Detroit went on a 35-5 run. They dominated the second half. They
Mhm.
outscored them, I believe, 55-19 in the second half
Yeah,
in that game. It was I never seen anything like it. I've never seen a team.
dude.
This reminds me of the 2018 Rockets that missed like 27 straight threes.
Oh yeah, against the Warriors in the Game 7
That's the only
against
thing that comes close
they were
to
gonna
in terms
dethrone
of
them, but
the replication of the performance. I'm like, how you in NBA? You're the best of the best pros, and you guys can't make a field goal.
I had a better chance of making a shot rather than them just doinking up shots. But I think the thing that really just separates everything for the Magic is just like riding the coattail of Paolo Banchero and like who you're gonna put around him to like support him. I looked at the situation and I follow like some of those Eastern Conference teams that are like on the rise, like the Magic. You know what I mean? They're in a good position where they can thrive and grow into a really strong franchise with Paolo Banchero. the Magic ain't been this relevant since what, Dwight Howard maybe? You know what I mean? So
Aldo made them relevant again.
yeah, he made them very relevant again. He's like a really good like number one guy to have because he has good height, good frame, good body control, can move like a guard, can score like a guard, and is like
Bully ball
physically
you.
just and bully ball you and has
When he
great
realizes he's
footwork.
250 instead of trying to sell
Yeah,
him all
and he's like a more like he's like a very fluid like player at that size and stuff. So, and I've been following him since Duke. Like he's tough.
Yeah.
He's like really tough. He's a tough guard to like match up with. But I think the thing that sucks is because like you have Franz Wagner there, and so with Franz being there, you kind of hindered Paolo Banchero's game for so long because you had this guy and you had this guy, 1A, 1B, kind of like Tatum and Jaylen Brown and the Celtics. But the thing that was their crutch, I feel like, was just like allowing someone to have the keys. And I think Paolo Banchero has willingly showed like, this is my team, this is my franchise. You guys need to ride on me in regards to like getting me the first like priority shots. And like I need to be the guy to like go dominate and go win us a game. Now the thing that's very disappointing to me is that you guys make these trades, you get Desmond Bane, you give up all they did to go get him, and then he doesn't show up when they need him the most. And then Jalen Suggs' situation at the point guard position. I honestly think Anthony Black should be the starting point guard of the team. Now is Anthony Black the long-term solution at the point guard? I think Anthony Black will either play the 1, the 2, and dang near the 3 if he really wanted to, but they don't have that right now, so you kind of just have to work with what you got. And I think that's one of those things where we see like if you have a dominant point guard, you're destined to go win a game. You're destined to go get something done. Like Cade Cunningham is literally transformed himself into literally one of the best top 5 point guards in the NBA, and he's not even a point guard like typically frame.
Yeah.
Like the dude is literally like a 2 guard, 3 guard, smooth as heck running point. And
I say he's a top 3 point guard at this point.
Yeah, right now he is, and the season he's had, like Jalen Suggs is not to that caliber, or even not to disrespect them, but they're just not to that caliber that Cade Cunningham is at. So I think that was the big thing for the Magic because the Pistons play very physical. They play dang near like the bad boy Pistons from like long ago. And I don't think that Orlando had the physicality to match up with that. And especially too with the injuries, and Paolo Banchero was at a point like he couldn't really overexert himself on defense because he had to go get buckets. He had to. If he didn't, they would have got blown out like the Hawks did against the Knicks in game. What was that, 6? So like it was one of those things.
I said, "What's the
bro?" Exactly. So like you kind of like you have to like sacrifice defense in order to go be effective on offense, and that's the sucky thing about it. But I just think like the Pistons though, like they scrapped and they fought like, and you gotta respect them because like I said, bro, like I was looking, I said 1 seed finna get booted out like that. I said no way, fam. Like this can't be the way they go out. But they really turned it around, and I think Franz maybe being there gives the Magic a little more versatility, but it's one of those things, and you brought it up when you initially said it, like they have to probably assess and see what they can go get for him and go get some better pieces around Banchero that will actually be more volatile for that franchise rather than, oh, we have a 1A and a 1B, or we have a 1A and a 1C trying to be a 1B, you know what I mean? So they got to go do something in order to get better pieces around him, because if you can build a team around Paolo Banchero, he proved it. He proved it the past couple of seasons, and if this playoff series that they just went through didn't prove that, then they need to reevaluate a lot of stuff. Like Jamal Mosley's a good coach. Like I don't think that he's the problem, but it's just the pieces around them. And I think if they can,
Mosley. I know that he blew it.
No,
lead, but
that's not on him though.
Wagner got hurt, you know what I'm saying? And then no shooter. He needs better personnel.
He needs better personnel, and they need a strong shooter at the point guard position. If they can go get like a point guard upgrade, and they don't need a shot creating guard. They just need a guard that can flow that team through, and that they can ride on that guard, and they can rely on that guard if Banchero needs a break, or Banchero's not on the court, or Banchero's not making shots or getting double teamed. We can rely on this guard to go get something done for us to go win a game. So that's just my thoughts on it.
No, definitely. And you could tell he was gassed. Like he played 42
Yeah, he was
games.
drained.
He couldn't get a
He
breather.
was drained. No,
And when
because
they put him on
if
the
you take
bench,
him off, they lose. If
he
you
was
take him off,
booting.
they lose. Yeah.
Yeah. And he had
It's
5
terrible.
turnovers in this game. Some of them were, I think, some fatigue turnovers. Like it was some careless turnover. Like he had the ball of one play, and they kind of just tapped it right behind him. I'm like, you gotta take better care of the ball, man. And in some places, he just lost the ball. I think that was due to fatigue. But despite his performance, he was minus 18 on the floor. But on the Pistons side, all their starters were plus 15 or better.
Yeah.
Everybody was doing their thing today on the Pistons. They were swarming them defensively. They were implementing a zone. And Asar Thompson, shout out to his defensive prowess, man. This guy he started the game
A dog.
so great. Like he blocked Banchero. That set the crowd going crazy. That kind of set the tone for the game. Cade was getting there blocking shots. Darren was doing his thing, rebounding the basketball. And then Duncan Robinson was hitting some shots, even though he struggled today. But Cade Cunningham, the first Piston to have 30 and 10 in a game 7, since only Isaiah Thomas is the other guy. Man, that's
wild.
That
that's really special.
I've always been a Cade guy. I've been watching him and Paulo since they were in high school. And to see, especially in that, if you watch that game 5, they both had over 45 points in that game. They were both going off, 40-some points. They were going off in that game. That was the first time we've seen 2 number 1 picks score 45 or more each in a playoff game, I believe. Yeah. So that's insane. We haven't seen nothing like that since like Shaq and Iverson in 01 finals. So so that game, that was one of the greatest duels I've ever seen in that game 5 performance. It sucks that Paulo could have hit his free throws in that game. He was 5 of 12 in game 5, missed 7 free throws. That could have forced into overtime because they lost by 7, ironically. Missed 7 missed free throws. I'm like, that's one thing Paulo needs, I think, get to the next step. He needs to improve his post game and improve his consistency from his mid range and his 3-point shot. It's going sometimes, but sometimes when he's missing, it's bad. Like he needs to improve that touch on his shot, I think, a little bit more. I hope he works with like a KG for his mentality and then Dirk with his shot, because I think that will get him to the next level. I think I think Paulo really has MVP potential. It just needs to get unlocked.
Yeah, for sure, and placing himself in a position to where he can be like even a more polished 3-level scorer, because he can shoot the ball, he can score in the mid post and on the elbows and in the mid range position, and then he finishes strong as well too. So it's just a matter of polishing up his skills, I feel like, and they'll be in a good position. I'm not too worried about the Magic in terms of them in their future. I'm just really disappointed in them blowing this series. But in terms of their future, like their future is really bright. And it's no diss or knock to them, but they just really need to improve the pieces around them. Like I said, like this series for sure showed them like, okay, like we need to go gear up and get some guys around Banchero, because if we don't, like we could potentially lose him and he gets frustrated and he's out. You know what I mean? Yeah. But looking too at the Pistons, like a lot of times, like we miss out on guys like Tobias Harris, because Tobias Harris showed up to like he had 30 points, 11 for 18, 5 for 7 from 3. Like he's a veteran on that team, with the Pistons being so young as they are, that you can kind of ride on him in a sense. And Tobias Harris, like a lot of people I feel like don't appreciate him because of his past, with the Sixers or whatever, past he had, but he showed up for Detroit the past 2 seasons, I feel like, and I feel like he's been a very integral piece to the success of this like franchise for like a good minute now. And it's really awesome, to just see like all that he's been through, and for him to be able to be in a situation where like he's the second leading scorer on like the number 1 seeded team in the Eastern Conference. Like that's really like impressive and good for him. And also too, just for the fact, like knowing like you guys have a guy, like if Cade can't get something done, or if like Duncan Robinson's not scoring threes, or if Asar Thompson's like slow pace, because Asar is very strong defensively and his energy carries his offense. But just knowing you have a second guy like Tobias Harris that is just can knock down shots, can rip baseline, rip middle, pull up for mid range, or go get like an inside bucket like that. That's like really reliable and valuable for like Cade Cunningham. And like I said, like Banchero, like on the other side, like he's by himself. And so like really all you need to do to be like a top dog, like you really just need to have like solid guys around you that you can rely on and that you can depend on, because like Banchero shouldn't be shooting 25 shots on his own and then expecting everybody. So they shot 75 shots and he shot 25. He shot literally a third of their shots. You know what I mean? Like that's like really like tough to do. He shot 33% of their shots in the game. So, just like I said with the Pistons, though, their construction is strong and that physicality that they play with and the energy that they play with. And obviously, this was a game 7 do or die, but those dudes on that team are dogs. Shanoris Jenkins, like their backup point guard over there, or Dennis Jenkins. I said Denoris. Dennis Jenkins, like he's a dog. Like he's had a good year. When Cade Cunningham was out, like he started like showing up and carrying the Pistons to wins and was leading that team as well. Paul Reed, like valuable pieces. Javante Green, like they have good guys around them. Isaiah Stewart, Marcus Sasser, like those, like that team, like is consisted of guys that want to like go grit and grind wins, and they're not really too worried about offense because they know like if we play hard defense and if we like just wear the other team down, we can go win games, and it's paying good dividends. And like you said, like Cade Cunningham, like since Oklahoma State when he was the number 1 overall pick, like he's been that guy to where he has an all around game, all around flow, and he's one of my favorite guards in the league. Like literally, like his like ceiling, like or his like rise to like where he's at now is like so awesome for him. Like I'm so happy for him.
Yeah. And remember, he had to go through a lot of despair and agony his first couple seasons. They were losing.
Yeah, losing. Yeah, they're on that bad losing streak with Monty Williams. He had Monty Williams with him. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, man, that was rough.
Like ever since last year, they turned it around, and this year they took even another jump up from last year. So it's just great to see. We call him Motorcade because he never turns that.
Yeah, Motorcade.
Court. Yeah.
Yeah.
Room.
Yeah. Yeah, bro's tough. Yeah.
But I think the Magic need to look at what the Pistons did. I want to give shout out to Tobias Harris before I get to the Magic. 3 straight games, he scored over 20 in each of the last 3 elimination games for the Pistons. He came up big when they needed him to in each of those games.
Man.
And I think that can get rid of the stigma now against him that he doesn't show up in big games because he did it in 3 straight games when they were facing elimination at home and on the road for the Pistons to help them.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So and then one thing I had a question coming to the playoffs with the Pistons: who's their secondary scorer? Who's that guy when Cade's out or he's struggling and he needs a breather? Who's that guy? And Harris has proven that. So
he's showing it. He for sure has. Big time.
We'll see who they play in the next round because we're recording this when the Cavaliers Raptors is about to start soon.
Mm-hmm.
If they play the Cavaliers, they're going to need every bit of that against the Cavaliers because they have more offensive firepower to me than the Raptors. So they'll definitely need that. But if they play the Raptors, they might be able to get away with it because B.I. Ingram's going to be out this game 7. So it's going to be a tough uphill battle for the Raptors to beat the Cavs. So we'll see if that comes true, especially if they're playing on the road. But the Pistons, you got to feel good, man. I know they're shooting today. They were a bottom 10 shooting team from 3 percentage-wise and 3-pointers made throughout the season. But they showed up today from 3. They shot 48.5% from 3, 16 of 33, 51% from the field. I don't know if I don't think that can continue consistently. I mean, we'll see. But if they can shoot even somewhere near that, I see them going to the conference finals, at least. I don't know about the NBA finals because we'll see if they play the Knicks, and they have to get past the Cavs or Raptors, whoever they play in the next round. I'm gonna say the Cavs are gonna win. I think the Cavs and Pistons will be a great series. Donovan Mitchell versus Cade Cunningham. Sign me up. Jalen Duren against Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I want to see that series. So, yeah, man, I think this Pistons team, they're going in the right direction. I know it looked scary at first, Pistons fan. I was worried down 3-1, but it goes to show you it's never over until a team reaches 4. And we saw 2 examples with the Celtics, Sixers, and Magic Pistons. You can't count teams out until a team hits 4. Because some teams, we see it, injuries happen, or some teams can't close the deal. The moment gets too big for them. Like I think the Magic, they just got too complacent in that game 6. They thought they had it in the bag. They took their foot off the gas pedal, and look what happened. Epic collapse. I think that was the fewest second half points in a playoff game in history. 19 points in the second half in game 6. Like absolutely.
That's so wild.
Like, that just can't happen. That just can't happen.
It was so horrendous to watch too because like
it was hard,
we had
real time without a field goal.
Yeah.
An hour. Like that's insane for a pro team.
Yeah. And the crazy part about it is like we literally like we had a recruit like visiting campus and we're like working them out and stuff, and then we get done with the workout and then like we look up and we're like, oh shoot, this game is done. Like the Magic got this in the bag. Whoop-de-whoop, this and that. And then we go to dinner later on with like the recruit and stuff, and then we're like, And so like our head coach was like, "Hey, did the Magic win? Yeah, they won. Pistons are done. Like they're done." We looked at our phones. We're like, "Oh shoot, they lost the game. Like they blew the game." You know what I mean? Like the Pistons won the game and choked the game, and we were just like, "Wait, no way! Like no way! Like the game was so like evenly like spread like that. The Magic were gonna win." I'm like, "No, they lost. Like they weren't making shots. They couldn't get any good looks, and like they blew the game off of momentum of the Pistons, and it was so wild to like think about. Like I'll probably never forget that, especially too at the fact like to only score that many points in a like quarter and to like literally like miss consecutively like they were, like it was just such a terrible disaster.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I think that's probably one of the worst, top two worst
That's
streaks
gonna
in the
sting. It's gonna sting.
up there
That's
with the
gonna sting
Rockets,
for them.
2018 Rockets. That's up there. That's just
Yeah,
you can't make
that was a big blunder.
can't make any field goals. Like, come on, man. Your pro team
Yeah.
guys are the best of the best at the highest level. You tell me you can't drive to the rim,
Mm-hmm.
get a draw a foul, something. I think, and then in that fourth quarter, they were 1 for 20 from the field. Paulo got their one field goal going to the rim.
That's so bad.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, man. When they said when they were talking on the broadcast, I'm like, wait, 45 minutes of real time they haven't scored. I'm like, wait, hold up. wait, what was the last time they scored?
It don't even feel. It didn't feel real.
Wait, you told me they scored. Whoa. I could have go cook the whole meal and you tell me they still haven't scored?
Bro, I'm telling you, man, like it really didn't feel real. It didn't feel
I
real.
really could have cooked the whole dinner and they still wouldn't have scored. I'm gonna be like, oh, I didn't miss nothing then offensively.
Yeah, I don't need no highlight tapes or clips for this game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's already low lights on YouTube of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's wild.
So we could before we close it out, quickly get into the second round matches. We talked the Knicks and Sixers already. So the next, well, we don't know the East one matchup, but I think it's gonna be Pistons and Cavs. If it's Pistons and Cavs, ooh, I don't, man. I think that series goes 6 or 7.
That series is going to have to go 6 or 7 based off of offensive
I'm gonna choose
firepower.
the Cavs because I just think they have more offensive firepower. I
Yeah.
just think I don't trust James Harden all the time, but he can get going some games, and then you have Spider who does his thing. He could even out with Cade, but it really comes down to their big man. I need Mobley to be aggressive consistently. You know what I'm saying? And Jared Allen, I can't be having seen single-digit gains from you guys. You guys, come on. Like I need to see you assert your will offensively. Even if you shoot bad, at least put up some shots. Be aggressive. Go to the rim. Draw fouls. Do something. Like Mobley has so much talent and upside. He's been great defensively since he came in the league. It's always been the next step defensively. That's where he stagnated throughout his career. And that's why he's not talked about as a superstar. He's an all-star, but that's why he's not talked about as a superstar because we don't see that dog in him like this. I can't recall a Mobley game like, oh yeah, this is a game where he took over. Like I saw him want to take over the game in a big state game. Like we see it from Wemby, we've seen it from Jokic, we've seen it with Embiid recently, we've seen Giannis do it. But now in terms of like big man in the new age, like Mobley, I know you have skill to you, man. Like I want to come on, I can't be seeing 10 points, 4 of 10 shooting in a big. That's unacceptable, man. And you're expected to be one of the franchise cornerstone, and you're getting paid big money too. His contract's only going up and up over the next few years. That's gonna look like a bad contract. This is a guy who you can't rely on as a number 1 or 2 in playoff games, and this is why you guys haven't. To me, he's kind of one of the reasons or main reasons why they haven't reached the conference finals or finals because the stagnation offensively. So I still think though, with defensively with their bigs and then the firepower in the backcourt, and then they have some depth with Sam Merrill and guys like that who can knock down shots. Max Strus. I think they'll beat the Pistons because I just think they're a better team in terms of executing. Well, even though there's some games in the series against the Raptors, I'm like, man, that was a bad execution down the stretch. I just think they're better offensively. They have more weapons than the Magic had, and I think the Pistons might struggle with that. So, but I wouldn't be shocked if Detroit won, but I think I would go Cavs in 6 or 7 in that series if they were to beat the Raptors. But if it's the Raptors and Pistons, I got the Pistons
5 games.
6.
Like 5-6 games. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And the thing that I really do like about the Cavs is like Donovan Mitchell really has help now with James Harden being there. And you could kind of see like since the trade happened, like Harden has literally like allowed so much more spacing on the floor for Mitchell to go be effectively creative and go score the ball. Because like Donovan Mitchell's like one of like obviously we talk about like Ant-Man and like Anthony Edwards and like the things he does, but like Donovan Mitchell is like literally one of like the better scoring shooting guards that we have in the league right now. And he just doesn't get talked about just because of he's getting over flooded by, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, Steph Curry's and Anthony Edwards. Like he's gonna get flooded out by other names, just by marketability and favor. But like he's really dynamic at scoring the basketball. Like he can really score the ball really well, and like if he's going, like he's going. And with Harden being there, he just brings us like a guiding presence that I feel like Garland had. Darius Garland was like really good for them, but in terms of like consistency and reliability, James Harden brought it all the time. So I really like the addition of him being on this team and the versatility that they have. Like you said, with the shooting, you have Sam Merrill and like Max Strus, like guys like that can knock down shots. Big X factors for me for the Cavs is like you said, Mobley. And what are you going to do to go try to set yourself apart in terms of like the dynamic forwards that we have in this game? Because like guys like Jalen Johnson over in Atlanta is like looking way better than you. And not saying like that they should be in the position that they're in, but like if you have Jalen Johnson on that team is unstoppable. Like
Scotty
because he's
Barnes
like
drafted after him
Scotty
too.
Barnes.
He's
Yeah,
ranked to Scotty Barnes
yeah,
over Evan Mobley in a recent draft.
exactly. Exactly. So like he has to like find a way to like be someone that we can ride on or depend on and to help us like go offensively. Like defensively, he's like a freak athlete and he can really, he's mobile. He has good length to him to where he can move around and maneuver around the like perimeter and in like the paint. And it's just a matter of like you don't want him to be a cone, kind of like Jared Allen is a little bit. Like Jared Allen doesn't really have a lot of game to him in terms of like, post work and stuff. Like
Yeah,
he's like
it's limited
a
offense.
high arch. Yeah, he's a limitation on offense. So you just wouldn't want Mobley to be in that same role when you're playing like 3-on-3 against 5. Um, so it's going to be a good thing for Cleveland. I feel like they will win this game 7. Um, obviously we don't know as a result. Results aren't there yet, but I think with the situation of the Raptors not having Brandon Ingram and not having Emmanuel quickly, and it's just Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett to go try to win a game. I don't see them competing with a team like Detroit. I don't. I feel like even Detroit matching up with Cleveland, like it's going to be a 6-game, 7-game series just based off of physicality, and the Pistons will wear you down like based on
Oh yeah,
defense.
I
Like
saw it.
it doesn't. They're not worried about. They're not worried. Like I said, they're not worried about offense because their defense carries them in transition. They score off the break, and they like literally push pace with the ball, and that's how they score the ball. They score fast,
Yeah,
surprisingly so than a lot of people think. But I think this is a good opportunity, and this is one of the better chances for James Harden to actually get somewhere with a team like the Celtics not in there. They have to worry about Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like they're not on the other side where you have to worry about the Knicks and the
yep,
Sixers. So like this is like a very prime opportunity for Donovan Mitchell and James Harden to go get to the conference finals, lead your team there, be a top dog, and go try to get something done. If the odds fall in their favor to do so, like they're on the better side to where they have an easier track to go win, rather than go playing a fiery like Knicks team or go playing like a team with like the Sixers that are on really high momentum having a matchup with like Embiid. So
yeah,
they have to really like if the Cavs win this game 7, they have to take advantage of this next second round in the semifinals against the Pistons. Like they have to. If they don't, they're gonna blow it, and it's gonna be one of those things where we just keep saying like James Harden still hasn't got it done yet, and Donovan Mitchell just hasn't got to that next level yet. So
yeah,
it's gonna be it's gonna be really interesting to see how it all plays out for them though, for sure. It's gonna for sure be I think it can be a 6-7 game series though.
yeah, definitely. I was gonna say because I want to wait for a result, but I'm gonna say this: like we don't know the result yet, but if the Cavs lose this game with no BI, you don't even their starting point guard, Man Coakley, has been out the entire series.
Yeah.
And also, shout out before I say it, shout out to RJ Barrett for that big Kawhi like bounce in Game
Yeah,
7. He
hero.
saved their season.
Yeah, hero. Real
They were
hero.
down. They were down. If he misses that, their season's over. Like they're not
Yeah.
going home. Like
Yeah.
that
That
wasn't
was
like
big
a
time.
situation where it was tied up. Oh, you still going to overtime? No, they were down. If he misses that, they're by sayonara. Get ready for next season. That
Hmm.
was one of the clutchest shots you'll see in the playoffs. Shout out to RJ Barrett.
Hmm.
He had a great game last game. But
Yeah.
back to Cavs. If y'all lose this game, I'm sorry. Somebody's getting traded.
Yeah.
Mobley,
Someone
Allen,
has to.
somebody.
Yeah.
Harden, one of y'all getting traded to a depleted Raptors team. Even to be honest, the fact that this series even went to 7 should be a disappointment. I didn't see the
Yeah.
series going to 7. I thought
Yeah.
Cavs in 5, max maybe 6, but really, you should have beat this team in 5 games.
The thing about
Like
it too, like
you should have beat
they scrapped some wins and they scrapped the wins, and I think with the Raptors playing with the type of energy that they play because they're younger, I really think that the Cavs came into the series like it's a cakewalk, and the Raptors,
Yep.
like, to be honest, the Raptors aren't a bad team. Like they're just like a middle pack team that is known, like they have guys that are really good at what they do, and that's why they're good. Like Bi can score the ball. Scotty Barnes is a motor tank. Jakob Poeltl is a skilled big man. Colin Murray Boyles is like a up and coming like dynamic 4 or 5 man. And then you have like Manuel Quickly, who has literally got shed off by the Knicks and is literally like thriving in a new environment. Jamal Shed is a proven dog from Houston. Like you have these guys on this team constructed. RJ Barrett, biggest sleeper, got passed on by teams, ends up in a situation back in Toronto, and now like they're just thriving. You know what I mean? So I think I think the Cavs just thought like, oh, we're just gonna dog them out by our talent, and it's like, no, like they're actually coming at your neck and actually trying to prove themselves to who they are. And I don't know, like I really thought it should have been a 5 game series for sure, like 6 games most at most, but like I really thought it would have been like a 5 game series. But the the Raptors, like you got to give credit to them though, like they're finding ways to go get it done. So you really can't hate on them for that.
No, definitely. I've just been. I'm kind of shocked even at 7. I would not have predicted that.
Uh,
But then again,
no,
at the same time, like, the Cavs, man. If you're a Cavs fan, you gotta be sick. It's like Mitchell had some so-so games throughout this series, and then Harden with the turnovers. He's had a lot of turnovers in this series, averaging per game. Like it's insane. And
yeah,
Mobley in their front court, some bad no-show games where they barely show any impact. So we'll see, man. Because yeah, it's gonna look very bad if they lose this game tonight as we're recording this before the game starts. So
hmm
yeah, in the East, we didn't really know the bracket of the semifinals because we were still wondering with the game sevens, the outcomes. So let's get to the West real quick. Semifinals, we those matches kind of been set. The West has been chilling.
yeah. They're on a little cakewalk. They're on a little cakewalk right now where they could just recover and get right.
Wow, they like yo, oh, they've been stretching their limbs. They like yo, who we playing? And
Yeah,
finally, the Timberwolves they beat the Nuggets. Nuggets. I mean, that's a team. They might have to do something this offseason. Gordon, hamstring, calf injury the last couple of years. He hasn't proven he can stay healthy. Murray had an abysmal Game 7 performance. Not something we're not accustomed to seeing that from him. He usually comes up big in big games. But
hmm
Timberwolves, we'll get to Timberwolves, Spurs. We'll save your Lakers for last because I know you probably want to talk about them. We'll save that gift for you. So
stressing right
Spurs,
now, man.
Timberwolves. No Anthony Edwards, or at least to start the series.
At least to start, yeah,
DiVincenzo, DiVincenzo tore his Achilles, which I was very bummed out about. When I saw
yeah, heartbreaking.
I saw he can get up, I said, I already know what it is. I've seen this too much now. I'm like, man, that zero is cursed. Tatum, Halliburton, Lillard, the list goes. Like, it's
Yeah,
crazy. Like, I think
yeah,
you
it's
need to
so
ban that number because
yeah,
it's just guys always tear their Achilles at this rate. We never used to see it this often. Hope speed
yeah,
recovery for DiVincenzo.
yeah.
And then
And
Daniel
he's a real
Batum was out with
workhorse.
a calf injury. He was out
Hmm.
with a calf injury in that game 6. I was like, oh, maybe Denver could force a game 7. Nope. Nas Reed, Jaden McDaniels, the game of his life. He has progressed so much offensively over the years. He always was an elite defender coming into the league out of Washington State. Or was it
Yeah,
Washington?
he was at Washington. He's at UW. He's at
Yeah,
UW. Yep,
Washington.
Washington. Yeah.
I remember he was a McDonald's All-American in high school. I remember him. I was like, this guy is a wiry wing. He has some real elite potential. He's an all-defensive type wing,
Hmm.
and his offense has gotten better over the years. To me, he's one of the best guys in the league who's never been an all-star.
Hmm.
He was talking that junk in the series, but he backed it up, and he basically
Yeah.
sent them home. And he was taking the assignment of hounding Murray throughout the series. That game 7, he
Hmm.
was hounding Murray. And the athletic wings they have in Minnesota. Now we're getting to the Spurs series. It's gonna be very different because Spurs have the guys to match up with them on the wing, athleticism-wise, physicality-wise, that the Denver Nuggets didn't have. They have
Yeah,
Stephon Castle.
that's
They have
true.
Dylan Harper. Strong,
Yeah.
physical, athletic guards. Devin Vassell. You also have De'Aaron
De'Aaron
Fox,
Fox, yeah.
really called the Fox for a reason. It's called Swipe because he's so fast. Like, you have guys now who can match up with you guys speed-wise. And then you have that freak alien in the middle who can do everything on the court. Like, Rudy Gobert,
Mm-hmm.
he did his thing against Jokic. I know it's going to be different though against one because now you have to go on the perimeter, which he did for Jokic, but this guy can actually beat you off the dribble. He's quicker. He's more agile. He
Yeah,
drives
for
to
sure.
dunk on you. And then
Mm-hmm.
defensively, he's not a cone or a liability like Jokic. Like, it's going to be very
Mm-hmm.
different trying to go to that rim than it was against the Denver Nuggets, where you can easily just go over Jokic, draw a foul, whatever, because he's not really going to go up and block your shot like a Wemby or alter your
Mm-hmm.
shot. So it's going to be a whole different game plan and adjustments they're going to have to make. And I don't know. I don't think that without Anthony Edwards, I just don't see them having a shot. It depends when he comes back and what the series is like. Say he comes back game 3, but they're down 2-0, or he comes back game 4, but they're down 3-0, or it's 2-1. It's
Yeah.
going to be very interesting to see when he comes back and how he looks, because he was already dealing with runner's knee coming into the playoffs and his right knee. And then he
Yeah.
hurts his other knee with the hyperextension. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, in that series, I just think the Spurs have the matchup advantage on their side, and they have the offensive firepower and the depth too. Luke Cornett's a great backup big too. He was key in that game 3 with Wemby out with the concussion, and throughout the season whenever he was hurt or anything like that. So yeah, I got in that series. I'm gonna say Spurs in 6 out of respect for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I think so too. Just the simple fact of not having Anthony Edwards and then losing a guy like DiVincenzo kind of affects a lot of stuff. Like, I don't think people give Dante DiVincenzo a lot of credit for like the type of player that he is. He's really elite. Like, he's really like, I really like. I've not to like ride the horse on him or anything like that, but like DiVincenzo, like if he was on the Knicks right now, like he would be so like he would be just be thriving right now, man, because like their situation is so awesome over there. But besides that, like him being in Minnesota and then how he went out with injury, like him like taking the role as the starting point guard of this team, like in a non-traditional way because he's getting there like a 2 guard, but the fact that him like just being versatile as he is as well, like he helped them a lot. Um, so losing him hurts, but then you get a guy like Ao Dosunmu, if healthy, like he's been lighting it up, like and he's been really effective. And I think this was like the type of opportunity that he needed to go try to get something done. You know what I mean? Like, because he wasn't like when he was in Chicago, like he showed flashes of who he can be, but I just don't feel like he had the full reign to do it because like they just had a lot of project talent, like Modest Bazelis, Josh Giddey, and Josh Giddey, like those are good guys on that on that franchise. But it was just a matter of like him being able to thrive into a sustainable role of being literally like a scorer or a shooter or like a knockdown guy or a guy we can go to depend on a bucket if Anthony Edwards isn't getting a shot off from the guard position. So I really think like if there's no Ant-Man, it goes 6 or dang near even 5 maybe because like I just don't think that the Timberwolves have the firepower that the Spurs have to go try to go get it done. Like Wemby is one of those guys like, and we've never seen it before, and we're still I think getting accustomed to it. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, this guy is literally like a matchup nightmare. And then too, like defensively, he's so like he's everywhere. Perimeter,
Yeah.
post, mid post, like rebounding, blocking shots. The man gets like 6 blocks. And I'm like, what? Like, but
He guard
you
like 2
just can't.
people at once.
Yeah, he can guard 2 people at once. Like if there's like a 3-on-1 or a 3-on-2 or like a 2-on-1, he's covering so much ground. He really doesn't have to work like that, and he doesn't really need to do much to get off the ground because of his length. So like it's one of those situations, and it's one of those things I feel like um I really like the guard play over in San Antonio with you got De'Aaron Fox, like you said, they got Vassell, you got Harper, you have Stephon Castle, and I think that depth that they have there, even Keldon Johnson, like they have depth in those
Yeah, for sure.
positions in that backcourt and that wing position, like they're really not hurting for anything. And then even Champagny, like they have really good guys surrounding Wemby to like literally succeed. And I think the Spurs are hungry to go get something done. And obviously every team's in a position like they want to go get something done. They want to go compete for a championship. But like I think the Spurs are at this point now, like we've been through our rough and we're really trying to get to this pinnacle point. It's kind of like the Pistons in a sense. Like we've been like the Pistons and the Spurs are like those teams. Like they've been through a lot of tyranny and adversity and rebuild and processing of like trying to get a team together. And now they're like trying to ride this momentum. Like, okay, we got to go show who we are and go try to go get this done so that we can like be the top dogs and like go try to start a dynasty. You know what I mean? Because like Wemby's like he's not going anywhere. I really feel like he's going to continue to just get better and better, and then as well as also too like his numbers are gonna keep like skyrocketing as he like flows in the game. Having guards like Harper, Castle, and Fox, like he really doesn't have to do a lot, or he's not really dependent upon okay Wemby, you got to go do this, you got to go do that. Like he could just be a versatile piece and could be like a do it all type of guy that his game is just like not just outstanding on offense or it's just outstanding on defense, but like all around, he's a great player. So that it's good for him. It sucks for Ant-Man because I feel like if he's healthy, he's their best shot at knocking them down. He kind of in a sense is like Jordan, like Michael Jordan a little bit, like as he was up and coming in terms of like he's going against these tough teams and he has to go do something, go get it done. And he's just like dog fighting it, or he's like trying to will his team to go get something done. And he's proven like he can get to the conference finals. He's proven like he can go, but he just hasn't got to that like pinnacle point. So I really hope like if he is healthy, he gives his team a shot or a position at least to go try to go win and get to the conference finals once again, like as he has before. So,
No, definitely. And it'll be, oh man, I do really want to see a Spurs OKC West Conference Finals. So that would be insane.
It would be fire. That would be fire. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm a Laker fan, and I'm saying that like it would be fire.
Yeah.
That rivalry's so tough. Like just watching those games are intense. Like they're so fiery and fun.
I can't wait. I mean, to me, we'll get into your Lakers and OKC.
Yeah.
That would be the NBA Finals to me. That would be
Yeah.
the finals. So Spurs and OKC. And that's going to be a 6-7 series. I don't see that being a short series at all. That is going to be a dog fight.
Yeah.
And I hope J-Dub is I want to see everybody healthy going at each other.
So we have a fair matchup. So we have a balanced, fair matchup. Yeah, I don't want no excuses like, oh, well, he's hurt, so we lost. Or like, oh, like Wemby got banged up with, like, you know. So, like, I want to see, like, everybody, like, straight up, like, head-to-head matchup, like, from 1 through 5, and even role players. Like, that would be so fire.
Yeah. I think that anyone who's a true basketball fan, that's what you're wishing for. And
yeah.
I think the Spurs, I think, especially if Ant's out the whole series, Timberwolves don't have a shot. But if he comes back and he's hobbled, I still don't think. I think Spurs, if I'm them, try to take the confidence away from Minnesota. Don't give them any confidence. Destroy them in those first two. Take care of home court first. You got to win those first 2 games so you have an advantage. And then try to stay one on the road. Maybe they might get one. And then try to close. I think they'll close it out in 5 or 6 in this series. I don't think the series goes 7. And again, to OKC Lakers now, we still don't know if Luka is gonna play. We know he's still out with the hamstring.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves is back, but they're gonna need more than just Austin Reeves to be OKC. This is a different jacket, you guys. This ain't the Rockets now. This is defending champions. And then even without J-Dub, they're hard to beat. We saw what they did against the Phoenix Suns. They swept them guys. They swept them. So SGA, you got Chet, Alex Caruso, and Aaron Wiggins can knock.
Aaron Wiggins, yeah. Hartenstein. They got a lot of pieces. Yeah, he's a dog. Yeah.
I'm just like the only team that can match up with them depth-wise is the Spurs. That's why
the Spurs. Yeah,
like that would be a great clash because those teams, in terms of the wings, the guard play, the star power, they have it all. I feel like they're levitating above everybody else in the West and honestly the NBA at this point. So, Lakers, man. I don't even. I'll say they'll get a game. I think LeBron. Well, it depends if Luka comes back. I think LeBron. He's at this advanced age of his career, and how fast the Thunder play. And I know the Rockets play fast too, but let's be honest, the Thunder are an advanced version of the Rockets. They execute better. They can actually hit outside shots, and they force turnovers like the Rockets play. They just execute better. They know how to they can shoot from the outside. It's a different beast. That's why they're separated from the Rockets in terms of contenders. That's what's hindering the Rockets right now because as great as Amon Thompson is and Şengün, they can't shoot. That's why.
Yeah, they can't knock down shots. They can't. They can't knock down shots. That's something they got to work on for sure. Yeah,
So
that's true.
Yeah.
a
Do
major
you think your
thing.
Lakers have any chance? Do you have any hope? Like if Luka could come back
So
for game 2 or 3?
so my thing is Lakers have to steal a game in
Yeah.
these first
Okay.
two. If we can get to the series, if we can get this, so this is my scenario, and it's kind of wild, but obviously it's playoff basketball. Anything can happen. If we can steal a game in OKC, I think we can win games in LA. And I'm not saying we'll win both games in LA, but as long as we can keep it even, and we have to get to an even point to where we can get to a game 6 position or game 7. We can't be down 3-1 and go expect to win, because the way the Thunder are, like, they're gonna like annihilate you, knowing like it's desperation. Like when they were up 3-0 against the Suns, that they showed no mercy. They was like, you know how like when the Lakers were blowing games against the Rockets, they were like, oh, like we're good, like, like we
And the
like
Rockets won 2
LeBron,
straight.
yeah, like, and LeBron wasn't really stressed because like he knew like, okay, all we got to do is just like connect on all cylinders and be more dialed in and focus, and we'll win. But like Thunder, they don't show mercy. None.
Right in the mouth.
Like, yeah, you're getting hit in the mouth, and once you get right back up, you're gonna get hit right again. So like it's one of those things like we have to like we really have to be even. Now, being a Laker fan, no bias. I think we have a chance to compete? Yes. Do I think we are matched up evenly with them? No, not at all. But I think our team overall, like Rui Hachimura has been stepping up and has been playing really consistently lately. Marcus Smart has been in a position now where he's kind of doing it all and doing whatever it takes for us to win games. I really like how DeAndre Ayton's been playing lately, trying to be a double-double machine and not really worried about trying to go be the best guy, but just being the best at what you do. And I think that's helped him. Yes, and I think that's helped this team a lot. And I really just think like LeBron's experience, like, it's so wild to me, and I appreciate LeBron, but at the same time, like, the man is literally still effectively getting stuff done at this age and this long of a tenure in his season. And like, it's kind of hard to just be like, okay, count them out. Like, no, because like he's still performing at a high level and is still playing an efficient role for this team. And I think having Austin Reeves will help us out a lot. I just really, when Reeves came back in the playoff series last matchup against the Rockets, like that first game was really rough because I think like they got so accustomed and used to LeBron being in the role he was in, and so they had to adjust a little bit having Reeves back. But they went back to letting LeBron do what he needs to do in order to be effective and win the game, and it worked. And I really feel like we can do that. But the only thing with it, like, the Thunder capitalize off missed shots and turnovers, and if we and knowing the Lakers and how we play at times, we have a tendency to go on some like streaks where it's like, okay, this is getting kind of ugly. The Thunder will annihilate you. So like the team really has to be really decisive and like analytically and be very efficient at the shots that they take and the shots that they're willing to like live with, because if not, like we'll literally get blown out the water. But I like our chances if we can steal a game. If we can steal a game at home or on the road.
Game 1 or 2, you
Yeah,
can steal one.
yeah. If we could still game 1 or game 2, or if we just could even it up, going to LA games 3 and 4, we have an opportunity and a chance to go try to get something done. I think, yeah. You said what?
Oh, no, I thought to cut you off. I was gonna say, if you steal a game and then you get Luka back and he can play at like an MVP level,
Yep.
I'll give y'all a shot, man.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the biggest separator for us, because like Luka has that effect, especially in the playoffs. Like, the man eats in the playoffs. Like, he's not gonna come back like rusty or anything like that. Like he might have a little bit of rust on him just from being out for as long as he has for a good minute now, but he's a gamer and he's gonna be determined to go try to, like, Luka's at that stage in his career now. Like, he just wants to win, and he just cares about being in a franchise like that positions him to be in the best like light to go get something done. And so I think the pieces that we have right now, they're kind of rugged a little bit, but at the same time, it's working. And so you have to take advantage of an opportunity to go try to, get to the conference finals with Luka, Reeves, and LeBron, if healthy, all together. I think they have a good chance. So it really, like, it sucks that you have to say it's dependent upon one guy, but like Luka's that type of player. Like, his presence alone separates so much, and his like ability to play make and shot create and just score. Like, he's literally like a pure scorer. at like being able to do whatever he wants. And so that's going to be the biggest determining factor. Now, from in terms of like them, like the Thunder being able to hold LeBron, I don't think they can. But at the same time, like those role players are going to have to step up in a big way and knock down some tough shots. And like if LeBron's getting packed down in the paint, like that ball's got to get kicked out. So like Reeves, Rui, corner, weak side, Luke Kennard also too. Forgot about him. He had a good series last round. Guys like that, yeah, Marcus Smart, like those guys have to step up and knock down some big time shots in order for us to be in a position to go win games. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think this is a good test for us because like we've been in a position where we struggle in the first round and we're trying to like bury ourselves through, and now like we're at that point like, okay, like we still have some life to us, but it's just like, are we going to be able to sustain against a team like the Thunder? Because they're determined to go. They want to go play the Spurs. Like it's no question. And SGA, like he's one of, like I said, he's also too one of my favorite guards in the league. But he just wants to cement his legacy, you know, as you know, one of the best scorers that we've ever had, one of the best players that we've had in the league. And Chet Holmgren is a really dynamic, young forward that we have in the league. And then you also have, if Jalen Williams is healthy, like it's going to be a fight. But it's one of those things like LeBron's not going to back down from competition. He's not going to just be like, oh, well, the odds are against us. So like this man's literally went against top dog teams his whole career. So like I don't think
9 Warriors with
exactly. Yeah. So yeah. So it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like he's going to be a professional and he's going to show up and do what he has to do to put himself and his team in the position to go win a basketball game. And just we'll see how the chips fall with it. But it's going to be a good series. If no Luka, if we have Luka, I think we can win in 7. If we don't have Luka, I think we'll lose him in like 6. So
I like that. It really comes down to Luka and how he looks, because I think
that's a big thing.
SGA. I think he cancels out SGA. And LeBron, I think
more physical too, way more physical too. Yeah,
exactly.
Body control and everything.
LeBron is like Chet is great, but he doesn't have the same offensive production LeBron has. So it's like, ooh, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? And you have Reeves back now too. But but your second best or third best guy, whether you have J-Dub second best or third best on the team when he's healthy, but him out, we don't know if he's gonna come back this series. If Luka comes back, that makes it very interesting.
Yes.
Lately, that's what I'm saying. So I'm really hoping to steal one of these games on the road, and then Luka, we hopefully get an update that he can play in Game 3 or Game 4.
Right.
That will change the whole complexion of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I know you're LA boy, so I know you guys in Cali are. If you beat OKC,
that's impressive.
That would be crazy. That
would be impressive.
Upset, probably one of the biggest upsets in a while.
That would be the biggest talk. That would be the biggest talk thing about the playoffs for sure, no question.
Oh yeah, easily. What? And then you would face most likely the Spurs in the conference finals, and then that's where experience. I think you guys have the edge if that were the case. LeBron, they have Magic. They've been to the finals. LeBron's won titles, things of that nature. So I think that's where you guys will have the edge over San Antonio. Even though San Antonio's more athletic, has more depth, but experience sometimes can, beat youth.
It kills. Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. But we're gonna end the show. But as of right now, the Cavs are down by 10, and they're shooting terrible right now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at
I'm looking at it too. 10. I got it on the TV right now.
In the first quarter, and it's not looking good right now. 23% from the field. Oh my God, it's looking like a choke job right now. That's currently. But I hope they come back, because honestly, Raptors and Pistons will be one ugly semifinal round.
It's gonna be an abysmal. It's gonna be an avalanche, man. Literally.
Yeah, it's gonna be like those games we saw with the Magic when they scoring like 80 points to finish the game, 90 points. Finish the game, which is weird in today's NBA, but. Yeah, Armani, I appreciate you coming on the show. Tell people where they could find you, man.
More so importantly, man, I just want to tell you, DJ, I appreciate you always. Like I told you before, and I always tell you, like I really appreciate you, and being able to have your platform and then allowing others to be a part of your platform as well. It means a lot to me, and you're like I always tell you, you're a part of my success story, and the reason I grind and I have the motivation I do with basketball and coaching and trying to get into like D1 operations and get to the NBA one day for work. So like I really do appreciate you a lot. You guys can find me on Instagram at jackson.aj, jaxxon.aj. I'm on there, and then also too, I'm on LinkedIn as well. You guys can connect with me. And if you guys have anything or any insider stuff, like just talk basketball, like I'm more than open and willing to do that. I love hoops so much, and DJ was just telling me, like, he said, it's so crazy how you just know all this stuff all the top of your head. It's like, but I live it every day. I live it every day. I see it every day, and I experience it every day. So, like, it's just embedded in my head. You know what I mean? So I really do appreciate you. Yeah, no, for real. So I really do appreciate you, man. And, I always hope that, God continues to bless you in your journey and in your walk of life that you got going on in your grind. So really do appreciate you, man.
Now, likewise to you, man. I really appreciate you for all the kind words. Ever since we met, bro. It's
Yeah.
funny, when we ran on LinkedIn, I thought you were like a little young high school kid or college kid.
Yeah, you were saying that?
I'm like,
your boy, 27.
What?
Yeah.
I was like, you older than me? I was like,
yeah, fam.
I'm like, that gotta be you from like 10 years ago, maybe.
Nah, that picture was like that picture was like junior year of undergrad.
College
so
or
that
high
was
school?
college. So that was like 2019.
Boy, wait, what? Look at your picture. I said, wait, what? You said what?
I was born in 98, baby, man.
Yeah, your hair look different too. Everything.
Yeah, for real.
Even the skin complexion, I'm like, you look darker in there.
Yeah, that Arizona sun be no joke. Shout out Grand Canyon, man.
Shout out boy Dylan over there now.
Shout out my boy over in AZ. Yeah, for sure.
For sure. But yeah, everybody, make sure you guys go tap into my guy Armani. Might have him on again to talk some NBA draft.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Big college basketball guy.
Yeah, got to do that.
Oh yeah. Especially with this draft, this is a historic draft. Everybody's
we got a lot of big hitters and big names across, a lot of teams and stuff. So this draft, like coming up, like it's a lot of guys that can like literally turn franchises around. So this ain't one of those drafts where like it's like, you draft this guy and they could put us in a better position. Like, no, these are like some franchise cornerstone pieces. And we've been talking about it, and I'm so excited to talk about it with you. So whenever you do that, let me know. I'm down, man.
No, definitely. We're going to do like we did last year. We can split into 2 separate pieces of content just to have more. The lottery and then like the mid to late first round. Because I'm sure there's some sleepers in the draft. I know you're a big college basketball guy.
Yeah, for sure. That's my gym.
Than me.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you're in it every day. You're coaching. So
you've
seen guys.
Yeah, that's my gym. Yeah, that's my gym for sure.
So we definitely got to get into that. And then I know the draft lottery is next week. So we'll know for sure the order of the draft. And I got to start doing my notes and mock draft just to put my players in order and things of that nature. I got to start doing that. I'm just going to do bullet points this year, probably something like that. And then just, because I watch, especially the top guys, I watch some of them now for a while. So like AJ, BP, Cam, Caleb Wilson, I feel like is somebody who might go number 3.
He's a dog.
Yeah, we'll see. So
yeah, he's a dog for sure.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my guy Armani. Make sure you guys go follow him, support him, and everything like that. That's one of my homeboys out in Cali doing his thing, coaching, things of that nature. And yeah, maybe we'll see. You guys might see me after the Cavs Raptors game. If not, then it's been your host, DJ Hamilton, DJ Sports Show. Hopefully the Cavs come back because right now it looks like they're choking. But I'll see y'all next time, and peace.
Peace.